T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
How you doing, family? It's Mr. R2 here at Texas Black Pages. Now, we're probably the very first live since the doggone Facebook shut down. So they probably was like, you know what? We couldn't shut the government down, so we're gonna shut Facebook down. I don't know if that's true, but it sure looked like it. So because they couldn't shut the government down, they shut down Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Somebody hacked into their servers and they tore everything down. And we was already ready though. I mean, me and Miss Tawanda and I, we was like, okay, we still gonna do it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna shift to YouTube. And if Facebook comes back, we'll be on Facebook and Instagram. I mean, Facebook and YouTube, but we're here anyway. Thank you guys for being here. You could be anywhere right now in the world, but you're still here on Facebook. I appreciate it, Facebook. Thank you for coming through. But YouTube, thank you guys for being here. We're on two places all at once. So I'm going to bring in Miss Tawanda. She's a country girl, but I want y'all to hear it. Don't hear it from me. Hear it from her. She's going to tell about where she's from, how many lights, how many schools, all types of stuff. How you doing, ma'am?
I am doing well. I didn't know he was going to call me out like that, but you know, it's what it is.
Wow. Yes, ma'am. So where are you? Where do you reside? And then where you from?
Okay. So I reside in Wilson, North Carolina, but
okay.
I am from Snow Hill, North Carolina. And I was telling him about that.
Snow who?
Snow Hill.
Yeah. Now, what is that? What's that next? What is that next to?
So it's a small, very, very small little town. It has one high school, really not too much there at all, but it's surrounded by Greenville, Goldsboro, Wilson. Most people know it if they're going to the beach. If they're going to Atlantic Beach, they pass through Snow Hill. Those are the people that usually know what I'm talking about when I say Snow Hill. Otherwise, most people are like, what? I've even had people to say, so do it snow there a lot? And I'm like,
yeah, wow. They played y'all for real. So you said it's near Goldsboro?
Have you heard of Goldsboro?
Yeah, that's where my family's from. No, that's where my family at. Yeah, family. Okay, we in Goldsboro.
Are you from North Carolina?
I'm from Fayetteville. I'm from the original 919, not the 910, the original 919.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
So you know a little bit about, North Carolina.
Not Snow Hill.
Not Snow Hill though. So you from Fayetteville, but you never heard of Snow Hill. That's typical.
Yes.
That's typical.
Yes.
Now you have.
100%. Yeah. So let's jump into your business. Tell the people who you are. What's the name of your business, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I am Tawanda Austin. I am the owner of Five Touch Spa Salon, where we cater to the five senses. We do everything up under one roof. We do massages, facials, microderms, chemical peels, body treatments. We wax everything from eyebrows to Brazilians, hydrotherapy services, hair. So we do so many different things, and I'm licensed to do all of those. But I primarily focus on massages. That's like my thing. I wear a lot of hats. I just got my broker license for insurance and real estate. I'm also an instructor for aesthetics and nail technology, but my passion is really just helping people. So anybody who walked through the door, my goal is to help them in some way, whether they're coming to work or whether they're coming to, just as clients or customers.
Right. And one of the things that I really love is that you didn't just stop at one thing, because especially when you're talking about building wealth, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, because wealth is everything that you have. Those assets that you have begin to tap in to the development of wealth and growing it from there. So what was your first love about being an entrepreneur?
I feel like I'm not censored, but anyway, so I majored in business administration, and I never, for a while, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I've always admired people who knew what they wanted to do. And I said, if I knew, I would go for it. So I majored in business, and I got like this big promotion once I got my 4-year degree. So I was like, okay, cool. So if I can make this much money with a 4-year degree because I got a really big promotion, I said, think about what I can do with a master's. So I took the
Yeah.
GMAT. I was on my way to get my master's. And then it was like light bulb moment. I want to have my own spa came out of nowhere. I've never even been to a spa at that point in time, but it was just
Mm.
so clear to me. And I said, I don't need a master's degree to have my own spa. So I started working towards the different licenses, which is how I became licensed in everything. But I was
Right.
working 8 to 5 and also working at the spa. And confirmation to me was getting out, after working at 8 to 5, 40 hours a week. And once
Mhm.
I got to the spa, because honestly, I was wishing clients was going to cancel so I could just go home after my 8 to 5. Seriously. But once I got to the spa, it's like it just relaxed me to relax somebody else. And I was like, if I could work 8 hours a day and go to the spa and it still relaxes me to relax somebody else, this is totally what I'm supposed to be doing. So that was where the confirmation came in that I'm totally supposed to have my own spa.
Right. So, what were some of the complications that you had, and what would you tell your younger self if you had to go back and do it again?
I would tell my younger self that you could do whatever it is that you want to do. And the only person that can stop you is you. And I tell people that all the time because we are our biggest critics. And it was really hard for me to, when I was thinking about opening up my business, I said if I knew what I wanted to do, I would go for it. And I was going for it. But to think about leaving my 8 to 5 job
Hmm.
and where I knew I was going to get paid every 2 weeks, and then
Right.
now I'm going to the spa where if clients don't come in, I don't get paid.
Yeah.
So that was really stressful to me just to make a decision to do it. But I said, you know what? The worst case scenario is it fails, but at least
Right.
I wouldn't be wondering what would have happened if. So I've been going strong. November 21st is going to be 9 years of business, and I continue to
Mm.
to move forward. If it's something that I want to do, I just go for it. So I would definitely tell the younger me, like, go for it, whatever it is you want to do. No limitations, but the limitations that you put on yourself.
Right. And one of the things that I really love, it's kind of like, because I normally get on early in the morning and I do my talks with, as I walk in the day. And today's talk was about gratitude. And just hearing what you're saying about it, that's just surrounded with gratitude. Again, what's the worst that can happen? And because you not focused on the worst that can happen, you worried about what is happening, then you are always going to be in a position to show gratitude when other people can see it from a different angle. You can see, like, you know what? But you can do it. Don't worry about this stuff, but you can do it. Because after you do it, then you have the ability to do it again and do it again and do it again. So what does gratitude mean for you in your business?
Gratitude is everything to me. I mean, really, just waking up in the morning is something to be grateful for. And a lot of times, like I'm even when I walk into my spa, sometimes I walk in the door as if I'm a client. Like I just
Mm,
walk through, like, how would I feel if I was a client walking in? And sometimes that's how I make changes because I'm like, okay, if I was a client, I would like this. So, let's make this change. So
right.
sometimes when I walk around, because I started off in one, it was one unit, and
Hmm.
because it's kind of like a condo type business. So I started off in one unit where it was like one room where it was like massages and facials and everything was done there. And actually my waiting area, part of my waiting area was the nail technician area.
Hmm.
And I was the only one like doing all of the spa services in the beginning. And then it
Wow.
was 3 hairstylists. And a lot of times when people come in now, like they like, how did you do all of that in that one room? And it started off with me, but then
Yeah.
I had other people coming to work, more clients, and as that happened, and also I'm listening to clients and what they're saying, and then I purchased another unit. So with
Yeah.
that unit, I was able to expand, and I created a couples massage suite because clients is like, we all do couples massages. It was no way for me to do couples massages in that one room, but I, was doing what I had to do. And it started off, it was me, and then I had an esthetician, I had a massage therapist that was all working in that same room. Of course, not at the same time, but we were sharing that room. So then I was able to expand over to the other side, and it became like the spa side. So I was able to do couples massages. I had an esthetician room over there, and then I also had like a singles couples massage room. And after that, I was thinking about clients that was older coming up the stairs because both of those are upstairs. So I was like, you know what? I want to have something downstairs. And I was really looking outside, but then it just so happened that the insurance company that's next door to me, we just so happened to be having a conversation. It wasn't on the market or nothing like that. And I said, we was just talking, and I was like, so, he said something about possibly wanting to sell. And I was like, okay, so I want to buy it. And just like that, I started making plans. I was telling him, I called and I was like, okay, so we're going to be closing on this day. And he was like, okay, I mean, really, honestly, I think if he would have thought about it a little more, he probably wouldn't have sold it. But it was too late because I went ahead and made plans to make it happen. So then I was able to have the third unit right like downstairs, and it's like it's all kind of combined. So it's like I have two upstairs and then I have the downstairs. And so when I walk through, when you talk about gratitude, when I walk through, because you know how sometimes when we have things, we look at like we have it, so we don't even really think about like the blessing that it is because we have it. It's one thing when you don't have it and you want it, and it's like, ooh, I would love to have that, and if I had that, I would be so grateful. But when you actually have it, sometimes people get big headed. But the thing is, when I walk through, and I can't, I'm not even gonna say I do it all the time, but there is moments where I just sit down, and when I can walk from the different units and I can just see like what God has blessed me with. Like I'm very grateful, and I do not take it for granted. And I realize like, it's God is no respecter of person. So the same thing he can do for me, he could do for somebody else. Because some people look at me like, how do you do this and how do you do that? I mean, sometimes I wonder how do I do this and how do I do that? But I know, like God definitely. And so I'm just really grateful just to be able to walk through and see all of the things that I put in place, all of the things that I created, from what was inside of me. So I can't even speak enough about being grateful and gratitude. I feel like I should say more because it's just like huge.
Nah, the blessed thing is you know what to do with the little because the little that you have prepared you for the lot. And it's kind of like when you look at like when people understand when you have been in humble beginnings, you understand that a whole lot more than someone else who do not have humble beginnings or who don't even really understand humble beginnings. And I'm gonna tell y'all how she did it from my perception on what she did. She had that space, and in that space, she had a particular goal and a service that she was offering. So then, from the service that she was offering, she looked at what are my parallel services. What are the things that attribute to other things that align with this particular industry? So she began to develop those parallel services. Like if you're massaging one person and somebody say, "Can you do two?" You'd be like, "I ain't thinking about that." Yes, we can do two. But then you say, "Okay, bet we're gonna write that down. Couple massage." All right, then you're doing something else. Well, do you do salt scrubs and sugar? Like, you know what? Yeah, we do it. So then you start writing that down. And when you develop those parallels, it puts you in a position to be that all in one, that encompassing room that when you get inside, you can actually do what you want and then fall back. And then leave and come out. So that's one of the things that I love about what I've heard is you didn't stop with one. You wasn't like some people say one trick pony. You wasn't just doing one thing. You looked at what are the parallels to what I do. It's just like a barber. Yeah, you may cut hair, but what if you had a loctician that came inside your barbershop and you had that chair that the loctician was in? Then what if you actually had a braider? Now you have the braider in there. Now you're not just a barbershop, you're a salon. And then in there, like, you know what? Somebody might want this. So then you bring your esthetician and put them in the space. So now you look at what are the parallels to what you already currently have. Then you're building this elaborate, like it's like a 360 business model. Then you're creating this entire 360 business model to where you're making income off of everything that's happening in the room, and you're developing this 360 business model. Even if you don't get a lot of people come in to get haircuts that day, but your loctician is popping and everybody coming in, they're getting retwists and stuff like that. So it's okay if the if the barber chair don't have a lot of people in it, but my loctician is killing it. So now people are coming in because of that. Look at what your parallels are. Those that are listening. Yes, you have a restaurant, but what are your parallels? Can you go into delivery services? Can you go into meal prep? Can you go into detox, your juices and all this other stuff? You should not just be one fixed one fixed thing that you do, but there are parallels that you can establish and that you can develop and that you can actually have for when these people come in and start asking you questions. You can actually begin to say yes. Or if you don't know anything about what they're asking, then you go back and you do your homework, and then you write the vision, then you start stirring it up. And then you come back and say, okay, bet I'm going to open this door. Like she said, that man didn't know what the closing date was, but she made the closing date. She was affirmed that this was going to close by this date, because now everyone that comes through that door, they have more room because she made room for it. Like I said this morning, all the time, people say my gift will make room for me. But if you don't have room to receive it, there won't be any room for it. So sometimes you're going to have to let some things go to allow the room to have enough space for something else to come in. So I'm gonna get off the horse a little bit.
I'm living this. I just want to add to what you were saying, because the thing is, it's all about gratitude. I had to have gratitude in the first space that I had.
Yeah.
And I made sure that I took care of it because I knew that I wanted to have other places. And my thing is, in order to be, you have to be faithful over a few before you have many. So it's not like you're saying, I want to have this and I want to have that, but you're not taking care of what you already have. So why do you think you're going to be blessed with something you're not even taking care of what you already have? So my thing is, I made it my business to take care of even people that came in. I mean, I had a hairstylist that come in. I have two hairstylists, actually three. I have three hairstylists in my shop right now that they had their own shop before. And I had one of the hairstylists that said, how do you have such a high grade? Because we had 100. When state board comes to, do the, to look at everything and make sure everything is in place, we have 100. And she was like, how do you get a grade so high? She's been a business owner for a long time, but never has she gotten a grade that high. And she thought that my standards was a little high. She even told me later that she thought about leaving Five Touch because I was just too over the top. But then she ended up taking a part-time job at a nursing home, and they told, as a matter of fact, back up, don't let me back up. When state board came, they said her room was the cleanest room. And she told me that, and she was so proud of herself when she said that. She was like, they said my room was the cleanest. And I just said, thank you. Because of my standards, then her standards came up too. Because it's like, look, I refuse to let what God has given to me be brought down because somebody don't want to do the work. Because I'm doing the work. I expect everybody that comes in here to do the work. So it's about being faithful of what you have, so he can, because I'm like, how's he gonna bless me with more when I'm not taking care of this? And of course, when you have a business, you have other people coming in as well. And if you're gonna let them do whatever it is they want to do, then it's gonna be chaos. So then what, you're gonna get another unit or another business and then get other people and let them do what they want to do too. So it's got to be some type of standards, and you got to be, that's about being grateful for what you have. So then you could be blessed, and you showing, it's not about just saying I'm grateful. It's about actually showing, because, we can say anything, but actions definitely speak louder.
Yeah, 100%. Man, I'm so grateful to be in this space. I'm so grateful that you've understood what grateful was to you, and to allow that greatness to actually come out through words that we can actually manifest and take back and look at it for ourselves. Have you been grateful for your business? Have you actually sat back and look at what gratitude means to you in the business that you have? Are you thinking so far forward that you forgot or you forget to what you presently have? Because if you're looking so far forward and you're looking past what you already personally and presently have, then maybe you need to take a seat and take a step back and be grateful for what you have. Because there was one point in time when you had none of that. Only thing you had was the vision. Only thing you had was the word, or only thing that you had was the voice that was inside of your head telling you what you wanted to open up, but then you actually did it. Don't worry about what other people have, what other people had, but know that you have it too. Like kind of like what she said in the beginning, know that you have it too. And because you have the ability to do it too, be grateful to what you have, because that will set the standard and the condition for you to have more, because you are grateful for what you presently have right now. Appreciate you. All right. So tell the people how they can find you or follow you.
You can follow me on Instagram at Tawanda Austin, Facebook at Tawanda Austin, and my business. You can follow my business on Facebook at Five Touch Spa Salon, and Instagram Five Touch Spa.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you can also order my book by going to Amazon. Or am I getting ahead of myself?
Nah, you good. I'm gonna pop it up for you. I was already ready.
Okay. So yes, this is my book cover, and you can find it on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. And I just wanted to say, so one of the things, when you talk about, my country accents, I actually had to get out of my own way, because you wouldn't have been able to get me to even talk. I'm trying to get to, okay. So you wouldn't have been able to get me to talk probably years ago, because I was like, nobody want to hear me talk. Even acting, I never wanted to act, because like, who's gonna want to hear me? That's what I was thinking. And one of the chapters in my book talks about comfort zones. So me writing a book was a comfort zone. I've also done an Audible, and as I was doing the Audible, I started smiling at myself, especially when I was reading the comfort zones chapter, because I was like, this is me totally stepping outside of my comfort zone. You talking about somebody who didn't want to talk in front of people, and then now here I am doing an Audible for people to hear me read my book. And so I just want to say that. And the whole purpose of the book is to get to the root of the problem and experience freedom. And I'm sure anybody who read a book, I feel like anybody who pick up the book, you will be able to get something from it. If nothing but one thing, you will be able to get something from it.
Right. Make sure you guys go and bring the book up one more time. Make sure you go to your Amazon and go look at It Goes Deeper Than the Muscle. It Goes Deeper Than the Muscle by Miss Tawanda Austin. And thank you guys for being here. You could have been anywhere, because Facebook just turned itself on. For those that are not here yet, because you still think that Facebook is, hey, I will tell you something. The Facebook stock, actually, a lot of people was buying that stock, because when it dropped too. So for those that are out there, check that out. But definitely appreciate you guys for being here. And Miss Austin, I appreciate you for standing in the gap for business owners who actually have it, but they haven't paid attention to what they already have. And because you had enough to get you to where you are now, you are standing proof that it can and will happen only after you believe in it and believe in you. Furthermore, so you have any last words?
Just what I would tell the little girl. Remember that you can do whatever it is you want to do, and nothing can stop you but you. And you are your biggest asset. So I'm all about self-care. So make sure you take care of yourself so you can effectively take care of anyone else or anybody else. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Hey, you guys be blessed. Here we are right now here at TBP, which is TBP Live. And thank you, and be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, tomorrow is another day for you to be successful. Peace.